This video will give you an overview of everything you need to know about examination and completing your MPhil or PhD. The first thing to do is to talk to your supervisor about your upcoming examination and organising examiners. If you're a PhD student, the best time to do this is around final seminar. Regardless of whether you're a PhD or MPhil student, your supervisor will need to provide final sign-off on your thesis before it's sent out to examiners. If you're a PhD student, make sure you've incorporated all the feedback from your final seminar. And MPhil and PhD students should check the thesis presentation guidelines available online before submitting. You'll also need to run your thesis through Authenticate plagiarism detection software and share your results with your supervisor. There are a number of steps to be aware of, and these can vary with different types of theses. For example, if you've done a thesis by publication, you'll need to include a statement of co-authorship with your thesis. Check with your Faculty Research Administration Officer, or FREO, and talk to your supervisor. When you're ready to lodge your thesis for external examination, you'll need to complete the thesis lodgement form with required signatures and submit the form and copies of your thesis to your Faculty Research Administration Officer, or FREO. Once processed, your thesis is sent out to examiners. There are 2 external examiners for PhDs, and for Masters, 1 internal and 1 external examiner. Your examiners will have been sent guidelines and assessment criteria to ensure that the examination process is fair, consistent, and impartial. The main purpose for research study at QUT is to encourage independence and originality of thought in the quest for new knowledge. This is reflected in the assessment criteria sent to examiners. Examiners normally take between 4 and 8 weeks to complete the examination process. The RSC will notify you via email when your examiner reports are received and will provide information about the examiner's recommendations and the corrections required. There are a number of possible examination outcomes. These outcomes inform the timeframes required for you to submit your final thesis. The award subject to no revisions is made when only minimal formatting changes are required, and you're given 3 weeks to complete these before submitting your final thesis. The award subject to minor revisions is made when small content changes are required, and you're given 5 weeks before needing to submit your final thesis. The award subject to major revisions means examiners are asking for more substantial changes to be made, and you're given 4 months to complete these changes before final submission. In rare cases, examiners request that a thesis be resubmitted. You'll be given 12 months to complete the changes if this is the case. In exceptional cases, an examiner can recommend that a PhD be awarded as a Master's, and this is the exit point for that degree. It's worth noting, however, that this is extremely rare. Very occasionally, examiners' recommendations differ. For example, one might award a pass and the other a resubmission. If this is the case, the thesis will go to a 3rd examiner for examination. This will extend the examination process. The 3rd examiner will not know that the thesis has previously been examined and will assess the thesis in the same fair, consistent and impartial way. You'll be notified when all examiner reports have been received and consensus has been reached regarding the examination outcome. It's important to address the corrections recommended by all 3 examiners in the final version of your thesis. Once you've completed the required changes, you can submit your thesis via the final submission of thesis form online. Make sure you include all necessary elements, including the response to thesis examiner's template and a citation. Things like statement of original authorship and the correct title page are often forgotten. Check with your Faculty Research Administration Officer and your supervisor if you're unsure. You can embargo all or part of your thesis for up to 2 years if you've commercialised your research, have patents pending, or your work is culturally sensitive. It won't be available on e-prints during this embargo period. Within 2 weeks of processing your final thesis submission form, you'll be sent a completion letter, and if you're a PhD student, it's at this time that you'll be able to use the term doctor. There are 2 conferrals a year and 2 graduation ceremonies a year in July and December. Now's the time for you to celebrate your enormous achievement. This video is designed to give you an overview of the processes around examination. If you need academic writing support, talk to Student Success Group. You might also approach your faculty or your supervisor. Grade email alerts contain information and opportunities for HTR students, some of which you can undertake even while under examination, so keep an eye on your inbox. You might particularly like to attend a Milestone Q&A workshop, where you can ask any question about your milestones of a panel of experts from the Research Student Centre and academics. That's it for the examination process. Congratulations on reaching the end of your research journey, and best of luck in your future endeavours.